I'm so sorry. I'm just having a fucking hard time lifing right now. Oh, I can't stand this shit. It's never fucking ending. Never fucking ending. I'm sitting here trying to make money doing DoorDash and Uber. I'm gonna pay my freaking bills. And I'm behind on every fucking thing. I'm 56 years old and I don't get behind. I pay my freaking bills. And this fucking year, this past year has been so damn hard. And now I'm sitting here in McDonald's with a fucking new car. And well, it's about 6 months old. I put quite a few thousand miles on it because of doing DoorDash and Uber. Because I can't get hired on anywhere. I've been everywhere looking for a damn job. And all the young people get me beat out on that shit. So I have to resort to doing something. So I work every day doing DoorDash and Uber and Amazon Flex in my car. Now it's broke down. It's running, but it says the AC off due to high temperature. This is the second time this has happened. And I just paid $300 and something for my insurance yesterday. I have to pay more of my rent today because I'm behind on that. I have my fucking car payment on Friday. And I don't fucking make enough money doing this shit out here. I've been trying to sell my damn trailer for 6 months. I just lowered it from $3,000 to $2,000 today. I just have to get ahead. I gotta get out of this fucking shit that I'm in. I've never been so unhappy. It's so fucking miserable. I can't deal with these. I just can't deal right now. I don't like this. What? I don't like this. I just screamed in the middle of the fucking parking lot. I just bellowed out screaming because I can't do this shit no more. I don't want to do this shit no more. I'm so stressed out. I'm so fucking tired. These bills, everything. Yeah, I can't pay my bills if I ain't got a damn car. And now I'm scared to death. I don't know what the fuck to do. I don't know what to do. I'm on TikTok and cry my fucking ass off like I really want to do that in front of everybody. But I just need a vent. I need a vent. I'm just what do? Oh, the car's up. AC off due to high engine temp. Well, I just drove from my house 5 minutes down the road and it's high engine temp. What the hell does that mean? I don't know. I'm so sorry.
Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rekakadash, and double honors and respect to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth, as well as much respect and honors to the brothers that are pushing this truth in sincerity across the four winds of this earth and risking their lives and freedom to do so. I would also like to give much honors and respect to the brothers and sisters of the hopeful elect that are doing their very best to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High to the best of their abilities. Shalom. As you saw in this short video that I just shared with you, you have this woman right here who appears to be an Edomite, and you heard, how she was crying out about struggling to try to make the ends meet. Okay, she was saying that, she usually doesn't struggle to pay her bills, but lately she's been struggling to pay her bills and she's been late on everything. She's been late on paying her rent. Okay. I think she said she had just got a car, or she had just purchased a car and it's already breaking down on her. Okay. Basically, she's catching hell. And, and she just basically was also saying that, here it is trying to find a job. She was struggling to try to find a job. And so she's having to do, I think, like DoorDash and things like that. And she's still not able to make the ends meet. She's struggling to try to make the ends meet. Now, here it is. With that being said, you have a lot of Edomites. I've been noticing this. You have a lot of Edomites. They've been taking to social media and they've been crying out, just like how this female Edomite right here is doing. Okay, they've been crying out. They've been pretty much, crashing out and losing it. Okay, and see what's happening is, they're feeling the downfall of Babylon the Great. Okay, these Edomites, they're feeling the downfall of their queendom. This is what's happening. Okay, and so here it is. Your typical Edomite is not really used to struggling. And so now here it is, with inflation on the rise, the job market, is pretty much, is, drying up out here. The work is drying up out here. Okay. The economy is on the brink of collapsing over here. Okay. These Edomites, they're feeling it. Okay. And as I had mentioned, a lot of Edomites are not used to struggling, but now a lot of them are feeling the downfall of Babylon the Great. And so, they're pretty much crashing out and they're losing it over, they're losing it as a result of this. And see, what's happening is it's the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua that's bringing down, this wicked kingdom of Esau's. The Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is plaguing Babylon the Great. Okay, the Lord is plaguing the job market over here, because here it is, we're hearing about massive layoffs that's been happening over here. People are becoming out of work. The unemployment rate is just on the rise. We're hearing about inflation. Okay, we're hearing about, the cost of everything going up. The cost of groceries going up. We're even experiencing this as well, but, those of us that are of the hopeful elect, we know why these things are happening. Okay, we know that the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is visiting Babylon the Great, and the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is bringing down this wicked kingdom of Esau's. But, as for, these Edomites out here, and even 2/3 by people, they don't know what's happening. Okay, but again, it's the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua that's bringing down this wicked kingdom of Esau's. And as a result, of the Lord plaguing Babylon the Great, these Edomites, they're feeling the plagues. Okay. And a lot of them, just like how this female Shedemite right here was doing, they're taking to social media and they're crying out. Okay. They're crying out. And, and with that being said, this place it's not going to be healed. Okay. This place is just going to continue to wax worse and worse. And, this is why, you have to spiritually detach yourself from this place, Israel, and return to the Father and the Son, because the Lord is going to protect the elect man, lady, and children. The Lord is going to ensure that his elect have everything they need to survive. And Lord willing, we have that elect number. But as for these Edomites over here, along with the rest of these heathens and the 2/3 by people, it's not going to end well for them. Okay. It's not going to end well for them. But again, you're having a lot of Edomites, like how this Shedemite was doing in this video. They're taking to social media, they're crying out and they're complaining, they're crashing out and they're losing it because they're feeling the downfall of Babylon the Great. They're feeling the downfall of their kingdom and they're struggling. Okay. And again, the typical Edomite is not used to struggling, and they can't handle it. And so a lot of them, they're crashing out and they're crying out. They're taking to social media and they're crying out, wanting answers and whatnot. And so, I saw this short video right here, and I just thought that I would bring out a quick lesson, because lately I've been seeing a lot of Edomites, taking to social media and crying out because, they're feeling the downfall of Babylon the Great. So, I'm going to go ahead and bring out a few scriptures. The first scripture I actually want to go to is in the book of Isaiah. I want to go to Isaiah. This is Isaiah. This is chapter 24. And I want to start in verse 10. And it reads, "The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in." Okay, and see that city of confusion, that's talking about America, also known as Babylon the Great. And see, here it is, America was founded on confusion, and America pushes out nothing but confusion. All you have to do is just look around. Over here in America, okay, you got men, wanting to go up other men's backsides. Okay, over here in America, okay, you got women wanting to be carpet munchers and whatnot. This place pushes out nothing but confusion, and everything has been turned upside down over here, and everything is totally out of order over here in America, also known as Babylon the Great. Let's read the scripture again. This is Isaiah chapter 24 and verse 10 again. It says, "The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in." Okay, and see, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is breaking this place down. The Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is judging America because of all the wickedness that goes on over here and all the wickedness that America pushes out. Okay, it says, I'm still in verse 10 again. It says, "Every house is shut up, that no man may come in." Okay, now see, here it is back in 2020 during that C-scandemic. What did we see? Okay, what did we experience? We experienced lockdowns. Okay, and so every house was shut up. Okay, but now here it is. They're talking about, more lockdowns will possibly come in the near future, due to these fuel shortages. Okay, and see, also too, martial law is coming to America. Okay, which is going to lead to more lockdowns. Okay, And so this place is just going to continue to wax worse and worse. Verse 11, it says, there is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. Okay, and see that crying for wine, that's talking about looking for answers, looking for the truth, wanting answers. And see, back to this video that I shared in the beginning of this lesson, you had this Shedemite in the video. She was crying. Okay, what was she doing? She was crying. Okay, she was crying, wanting answers. Okay, she was crying because she's struggling, okay, to try to make the ends meet. And she said in the video, I think she said something along the lines of that she's usually able to pay her bills on time. But lately, she hasn't been able to pay her bills on time. And she was crying. Here it is. I mean, she was saying that, that she was struggling to try to find a job. Okay. She was struggling to try to pay her rent. Okay. She was struggling to try to pay her car note. And see, here it is. She had said that she had just bought a brand new car and the car was already breaking down on her. The hood was up on the car, when she was making the video, and she was about to lose it, But it's not just her that's crying out. Okay, as I had mentioned, there's plenty of Edomites that are now taking to social media and they're crying for wine. Okay, they're wanting answers. Here it is. A lot of them, they thought that, voting for DJ Donald Duck, that he was going to make America great again. Okay, but that's not the case. Okay, DJ Donald Duck is actually bringing down Babylon the Great, and the Lord Yahweh Bashem Abishai is using DJ Donald Duck to bring down this wicked queen. Okay, and and it's not just Edomites that are taking to social media and crying for wine. You also got some Jakes and Eves that are also crying for wine as well. Okay. But, people are wanting answers. Okay. As to why, there's massive layoffs that are happening. Okay. To why, inflation is on the rise. Okay. To why everything is becoming expensive. Groceries are becoming expensive. Okay. Here it is. The price of gas. Okay. It's becoming expensive. Okay. Here it is. There's also reports of food shortages. Okay. That are happening. Okay. People are wanting answers as to why these things are happening. Okay, here it is. We're hearing about wars and rumors of wars that are happening. Okay, people are wanting answers. Okay. And see, and then when famine of the word, hits, you're going to have 2/3 of our people right along with these Edomites and the rest of these heathens. They're going to be really, crying for wine, wanting answers, but they're going to be in a bad case. Okay. The 2/3 of our people right along with these Edomites and the rest of these heathens, they're going to be in a bad case. And it's actually beginning to happen right now, okay, to where they're feeling, they're feeling the downfall, of this queendom. And again, as I had mentioned, you're having a lot of these Edomites that are now taking to social media and they're complaining, okay, about, struggling to try to make the ends meet and whatnot. Verse 11 again, it says, there is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. And see, the Lord is taking the spirit of mirth, from Babylon the Great. Okay, the joy is leaving America. Okay, and you got people just like how this Shedemite was doing. They're taking to social media and they're complaining about how America is pretty much, heading down the toilet. They're complaining about how they're struggling, okay, to try to make the ends meet, And you have a lot of these Edomites, they're hurt right now. Okay, because they're feeling, they're feeling and they're seeing the downfall of their queendom. And this is what's happening. Okay, this place is on its way out. And again, Israel, this is why you have to spiritually detach yourself from this place and return to the Father and His Son. So that you don't fall over here in Babylon the Great. Verse 12, it says, the city is left desolation and the gate is smitten with destruction. Okay, see that ultimate plague that the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is going to send on America, also known as Babylon the Great, it's going to come by way of thermonuclear missiles. Okay, which is going to annihilate this place and all these wicked people over here. Only the Lord's elect will have that hedge of protection over them and will be delivered out of Babylon the Great before this place is ultimately destroyed. And Lord willing, we of that elect number. But this is why we stress repentance, is so that you can be of the elect. And so that you can have that hedge of protection over you. And so that you can be delivered and not left over here to be destroyed. Okay, I want to go to the book of Ecclesiastes, and this is chapter 12, and I want to start in verse 3 because here it is, back to the video that I shared in the beginning of this lesson. This Shedemite, she was complaining about, trying to find work and everything. And see, the work is drying up over here. The grinding is ceasing over here in Babylon the Great. This is Ecclesiastes, and this is chapter 12, and this is verse 3. And it reads, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong man shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Okay, and see the keepers of the house, that's talking about these elite bankers, that's talking about these economists that keep up with the Dow Jones. They're trembling because they're seeing the downfall of Babylon the Great. Okay, it says, and the grinders cease because they are few. Okay, and see the grinders, are the workers, and the grinding is ceasing over here due to massive layoffs, due to businesses shutting down. And again, you heard what this female Edomite was saying in the video. She was saying that she was, having to do DoorDash, okay, because she can't find any other forms of work, and she was also saying that she's still not able to get ahead. She's still behind on her bills. And she was saying this is something that's, that she's not used to. Okay, because she said that she's used to being able to pay her bills on time. Okay, verse 3 again, it says, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Okay, and see the windows are becoming darkened because people are coming to the realization that there's no future in America. And see, here it is, many of these Edomites they're hurt. Okay, and they're bugging out. They're crashing out like how this older Shedemite was doing in this TikTok video. Okay. Because, they're feeling the effects of the downfall of Babylon the Great. They're feeling the effects of this, this queendom. It's on its way out. They're feeling the downfall, and they're hurt behind it. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, and this is verse 4. And it says, and the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Okay, and see the doors, shall be shut in the streets, because of businesses shutting down. The grinding is getting low because of massive layoffs that are happening. Here it is, we're hearing about massive layoffs that are happening. The work is drying up over here. It says, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird. Okay, and see you having those that are now rising up at the voice of the bird, either to try to find work or either to try to get it however they can get it, by any means. Even if that means taking from others. And see, here it is. It's even coming out now that people are now stealing gas, out of vehicles and whatnot, due to fuel shortages and due to the price of fuel going up. It's coming out that people are drilling holes, okay, in gas tanks of vehicles that are left parked outside at night, and they're siphoning gas out of these vehicles, okay. And so, people are rising up, early. To either to try to find work, or they're getting up, early hours, to try to get it however they can get it, even if that means taking from the next person. It says, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Okay, and see, all you have to do is just turn the radio on today, and all you're going to hear is just a bunch of low-level demonic music, Okay, this is the book of Haggai, and this is chapter 1, and this is verse 6. And it reads, ye have sown so much. Salaki, it reads, ye have sown much, and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. Okay, and see, here it is, it used to be Jake, okay, that, was feeling this. But now it's not just Jake that's feeling this. You're now having a lot of Edomites. They're now beginning to feel the effects, okay, of working and still not having enough, to make the ends meet. Okay, a lot of these Edomites, they're now, are beginning to feel the effects of working, but they're still struggling, to try to put food on the table. They're still struggling to try to keep a roof over their heads or clothes on their backs. Okay, they're still struggling to try to pay their car note. Okay, it's like, their money, is just leaving them as soon as they get it. And see, back to this video, this female Edomite, she was saying that she was behind on her bills. And she was also saying that she's usually not behind on her bills. And she had also mentioned, about struggling to try to pay her rent. Okay, I think she was saying that she was struggling also to try to pay her car note, and she had just bought a car and it had already broke down on her. Okay, and so now, these Edomites, they're now beginning to feel, the effects of sowing, much, but bringing in little. Okay. Because here it is, as I had mentioned, you're now having a lot of Edomites. They're now taking to social media and they're now complaining and they're crashing out about struggling, okay, to try to make the ends meet. Like how this, this older Shedemite was doing in the video that I shared in the beginning of this lesson. You are now having a lot of Edomites that are doing this. Okay, they're crashing out. They're taking to social media and they're crashing out. They're crying and whatnot. I can remember not so long ago I had saw a video the way you had this Edomite, this male Edomite. And here it is. He was talking about he wanted to end it all. He was talking about he wanted to basically unalive himself because he was saying that it's not fun anymore. That's what he was saying. But again, these Edomites, they're now feeling the effects, okay, of this place, falling. They're feeling the downfall of Babylon the Great, and they're hurt behind it. Okay, this is Zephaniah, and this is chapter 1, and I want to start at verse 10. And it reads, "And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, that there shall be a noise, Salaki, that there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate, and an howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills." Okay, and see, this right here is going into an economic crash. And this is what's happening to America. Okay, America is getting ready to fall. And this is why we're hearing about massive layoffs that are happening. Okay, you're hearing about massive layoffs happening within the private sector, as well as even within the federal government. And see, here it is. At one time, the federal government was considered to be somewhat of a secure employment, but that's not the case anymore. Okay, none of these jobs are secure over here. Okay, but again, America, also known as Babylon the Great, is on its way out. And these Babylonians, okay, which includes, these Edomites, along with the rest of these heathens and the 2/3 white people, they're upset about it. Okay, because they don't want to see this place fall. And see, and when the economy finally collapses over here, you're gonna have a lot of people, which includes the 2/3 white people. They're gonna try to run down to Esau, looking for some help. And Esau, he may throw them a few crumbs, but in exchange, he's gonna want them to get that MO to the T to the B. And those white people who allow this devil Esau to violate them with that MO to the T to the B to try to save themselves, they're going to be missile food over here in Babylon the Great, right along with these Edomites and the rest of these heathens. That's what's going to happen to them. They're going to fall over here in Babylon the Great, right along with these Edomites and the rest of these heathens when the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua annihilates this place with thermonuclear missiles. Zephaniah chapter 1, this is verse 11. It says, "How ye inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchant people are cut down. All they that bear silver are cut off." Okay, and so, with that being said, investors, people who play the stock market, they're beginning to feel the crash of this economy, and they're about to be in a bad case. But, everybody, is going to feel the crash of this economy. But, with that being said, this is why you have to spiritually detach yourself from this place, Israel, and return to the Father and the Son. Because the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is going to ensure that the elect man, lady, and children have everything they need to survive. Okay. I want to go to the book of 2nd Ezra, and this is chapter 6, and I want to start in verse 18. And it reads, "And it said, Behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh, and to visit them that dwell upon the earth." Okay, and see, this is what's happening. The Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is visiting the earth. And the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is visiting Babylon the Great. Okay, the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is visiting Babylon the Great. Here it is. We've been hearing about bad weather that's been happening. Early this year, we had some bad weather. Okay, the Lord is visiting Babylon the Great with earthquakes. We've been hearing about earthquakes that's been happening in various parts of Babylon the Great. Also, too, we've been hearing about pestilences that's been happening over here, and that's on the rise in various parts of Babylon the Great. Okay, the Lord is plaguing the job market over here because the work is drying up over here in Babylon the Great. The Lord is plaguing the economy over here because here it is. We're seeing inflation that's happening over here. Okay, the price of everything is going up. And also, speaking of the economy is on the brink of collapsing over here. The Lord is breaking the staff of bread over here because here it is. There's already reports of food shortages that are happening in various parts of Babylon the Great, and more food shortages are coming. The Lord is bringing down this wicked kingdom, and these Edomites are feeling it, and many of them, they're beginning to lose it. You're having a lot of them, as I had mentioned, they're taking to social media and they're crying out, complaining, crashing out and whatnot. And, with that being said, the Lord is going to continue to visit America. And, these Edomites, they're going to continue to be affected. Second Ezra chapter 6, and this is verse 19. And it reads, "And I will begin to make inquisition of them, what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled." Okay, and see, these Edomites have hurt unjustly with unrighteousness. And so the Lord is making an inquisition of them, or an investigation of these Edomites. And this is why, we're hearing about, UFO sightings and whatnot, because these UFOs are the Lord's chariots. Okay, and these chariots, what they're doing is, they're recording everything. And, the Lord is going to be thorough with his judgments of this place. And the judgments are happening now. Okay, and more judgments are coming. And again, Israel, this is why you have to come up out of this place spiritually, in return to the Father and the Son, so that you don't get caught into the judgments of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So you don't get caught into the judgment that the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has for Babylon the Great. Okay, verse 19 again, it says, "And I will begin to make inquisition of them, what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled." And see, here it is, we're living in a time, to where our punishment is about to be fulfilled, because we're Zion. Okay, and Zion is you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and those that are of the speckled bird that look like these other nations, which you go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob on your father's side. Okay, so, with that being said, Israel, it's time to return to the Father and the Son, so that you can be spared, okay, and delivered. Okay, I want to end off in the book of Jeremiah. This is Jeremiah, and this is chapter 50, and I want to start in verse 31. And it reads, "Behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, said the Lord, power of hosts. For that day is come, the time that I will visit thee." Okay, and see, this is talking about America, because, these Edomites over here, they're proud. These Edomites are proud as hell over here. And, the rest of these heathens, and even 2/3 of our people, they're also proud. Okay, and, the Lord says that he's against this wicked place. And the Lord is visiting America, and the Lord is plaguing America and bringing down this wicked kingdom of Esau's. And that ultimate plague that the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to send on America is going to come by way of thermonuclear destruction, which is going to destroy this place and all of these proud people over here. Let's get the next verse, and then we'll end off there. This is Jeremiah chapter 50, and this is verse 32. And it reads, "And the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall raise him up. And I will kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour all round about him." Okay, and so, with that being said, America is not going to recover. This place is just going to continue to wax worse and worse. America is a sinking ship. Okay, and again, that ultimate plague that the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to send on America is going to be, when the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua puts the spirit on these other nations that fire their thermonuclear missiles on this place, which is going to destroy this place, as well as all of these wicked people over here. Only the elect man, lady, and children will have that hedge of protection over them and will be delivered out of Babylon the Great before this place is ultimately destroyed. And so again, Israel, now is the time to get right with the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, so that you don't get caught into the wrath of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and end off here. I hope it was edifying. Once again, I want to give all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and double honors and respect to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, Kwame Asherah and Abba Baba. Shalom.